Okay, thank you everybody for being here. I'd like to call what is technically a regular meeting, although we all know it's actually a very special meeting, of this Board of Trustees to order. Could we have the roll, please?
Village President Torpy.
Here.
Trustee Clark.
Here.
Trustee Column.
Here.
Trustee Davis Ford.
Here.
Trustee Levinson.
Present.
Trustee Rosner.
Here.
Trustee Schnall.
Here.
Mr. Lewis.
Here.
Mr. Lerner.
Here.
Mr. Rother.
Here.
Susan Caljean, present. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided to the press in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-6. In addition, notice of this meeting was posted in Village Hall and on the village website and has been filed in the office of the village clerk. Official action may be taken. Susan Caljean, village clerk. Resolution 2015-99, resolution authorizing an executive session at the May 18, 2015 organization meeting of the Board of Trustees to discuss the following: personnel, attorney-client privilege, trustee vacancy.
We also have a matter to discuss the operations and maintenance agreement.
Yes, yeah, contract negotiation for the operation and maintenance contract.
Okay, so do I have a motion for?
So moved.
Okay, moved by Trustee Levison, seconded by Trustee Schnall. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so we're going to close session to discuss those two items. We'll be back out here at 8 o'clock. And also just a reminder, if folks want to move up a little bit before we come back out here at 8, which is when we'll start the rest of the meeting. Thank you.
We'll ask her to move.
All right, thank you everybody for being here. I would like to call this Board of Trustees meeting back to order. Could we please have the roll?
Village President Torpy.
Here.
Trustee Clark.
Here.
Trustee Column.
Here. Trust me, I'm here.
Trustee Davis Ford.
President.
Here.
Trustee Levison.
Present.
Trustee Rosner.
Here.
Trustee Schnall.
Here.
Mr. Lewis.
Here.
Mr. Lerner.
Here.
Mr. Rother.
Here.
Susan Caljean, present.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please stay standing for a moment of silence. Thank you. Okay, so our first item on the agenda is the statement of election results from our village clerk.
A statement of the results of an election held in the Township of South Orange Village in the County of Essex, State of New Jersey, on the 12th day of May, 2015, for the purpose of electing one village president and 3 village trustees, each serving a 4-year term. Registered voters as of November 4th, 2014 general election were 12,330. Total number of vote casts, including provisional ballots, was 2,044. For village president for a 4-year term, Sheena C. Collum received 1,434 votes. Emily Hines received 604 votes. For 3 members of the Board of Trustees, 4-year term, Deborah Davis Ford received 1,432 votes. Howard Levinson received 1,470 votes. And Mark Rosner received 1,435 votes.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to welcome up the village administrator, Barry Lewis.
Thank you, and again, thank you everyone for joining us. We'd like to just briefly recognize, we have a number of dignitaries, obviously. We appreciate everybody coming out, but specifically we'd like to recognize our assembly members, Mila Jacy and John McKeon, our freeholder President Brittany Timberlake could not be here tonight, but I'm sure she sends her well wishes. Freeholder Brendan Gill, Vice President, Pat Siebold, Rolando Bobadilla, Wayne Richardson, Lynn Luciano, and Rufus Johnson. Also with us, some former village trustees, Alan Rosen and Janine Bauer. There's others that I've missed, and forgive me. East Orange, our neighbor, East Orange Mayor Lester Taylor is here. Essex County Clerk Chris Durkin, the Essex County Registrar Dana Roan, our neighboring Maplewood Committee member Kathy Leventhal, Essex County Democratic Chair Leroy Jones, and also a number of our department heads and staff in the village. So thank you all for joining us and welcome, and we'll move on with the ceremony.
All right, thank you. So our first item on the agenda will be to swear in our new village president. There's something incredibly unique and historic about tonight. No one could remember the last time an incoming village president was being sworn in by the outgoing village president. And I think that speaks to the kind of collaboration and culture that we've built here in South Orange. So it is my extremely great pleasure to be able to swear in our next village president, Sheena Collum. Okay, raise your right hand, place your left hand in the Bible. I, Sheena Collum,
I, Sheena Collum,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same,
and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties
all of the duties
of the office
of the office
of Village President,
of Village President
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Hold on, I'll do that. Yep, that's me. Okay.
During the lull in the action, I just want to mention two people I overlooked, Lebby Jones, another one of our freeholders, and former village president Doug Newman. Thank you again.
All right, so next up.
Just going to take a second to point out this is not.
And next up, we have Village Trustee Deborah Davis Ford to be sworn in as Village Trustee by Chris Durkin, Essex County Clerk.
I'd like to ask my parents, along with my husband, Rocky and Rachel, and my sister Valerie, to join me on the stage.
Good evening. It is indeed an honor to preside over the swearing in of my dear friend, Deborah Davis Ford, and I'd like to congratulate Village President Sheena Collum. I'd like to also congratulate Village Trustee Howard Levison and Mark Rosner. There was no opposition for the Village Trustees, but I think that speaks to the great work and accomplishments over the last 3 years. And South Orange is exploding with a quaint village spirit, and you could just really feel the energy and the excitement from the people of South Orange. Okay, I think we're ready. Left hand. Right. That's better. Okay. I state your name.
I, Deborah Davis Ford,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established
and to the government established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of the office of
the office of
Village Trustee
Village Trustee
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations!
Deborah? Deborah? Grab a picture. Grab a picture.
Chris, take that. Thank you. Oh, those are your notes? Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
Next up, we have Trustee Howard Levison to be sworn in as village trustee by Deputy Mayor Kathleen Leventhal.
Where's the Bible? Where's the Bible post? Oh, he's got it.
It's an honor for me as Deputy Mayor of Maplewood to be here in South Orange swearing in our good friend Howard with his family. And I have realized that this puts a new spin on shared services. Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and in this state under the authority of the people.
and under the authority of the people.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of the office
all the duties of the office
of village
of
trustee
village trustee
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
You get a chance to sign it and then thank you.
And last, we have Trustee Mark Rosner to be sworn in as a village trustee by his daughter, Sheriff Friedman, Esquire.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's an honor to be able to swear my father in again for the third time. Raise your right hand.
For who's counting?
I, Mark Rosner,
I, Mark Rosner,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments
and to the governments
established in the United States
established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties
all the duties
of the office of village trustee
of the office of village trustee
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
While we're getting situated, another important guest I want to recognize, past Freeholder President Lonnie Watson is here with us tonight. So, thank you for being here.
Okay, so I didn't actually have to do that, but I was getting anxious. Can we have the roll call?
Certainly. Village President Collum.
I'm still here.
Trustee Clark.
Here.
Trustee Davis Ford.
Here.
Trustee Levinson.
Present.
Trustee Rosner.
Here.
Trustee Schnall.
Here.
Mr. Lewis.
Here.
Mr. Lerner.
Here.
Mr. Rother.
Here.
Susan Caljean, present.
So I would first like to start off with remarks from the Board of Trustees, and there's no particular order, so anybody else who would like to start first, feel free to.
Let Deborah start.
Deborah's always very good at starting us off.
Why do I always have to start, guys? Jeez. All right.
Should have married somebody with the last name Z.
Wow. You're witnessing history, but I'm not going to take her thunder. The first female president of our village. But enough about her. It's about me for one moment. Welcome to South Orange. I love South Orange, my beloved village. Spent 8 years, and we're truly volunteers. We receive no compensation. We do a lot of heavy lifting. We really work our committees. And someone said, why are you running for a third term? Because of all the things that we've done and navigated this beloved village through some tough times. We did such a great job that we are probably one of the few municipalities that can claim that during one of the worst recessions since the last depression, that we managed our town and our finances so well that we laid off no fire or police. Also, during those challenging times, we had a vision. We put the vision together and we started to implement it. So I'm running again because now the next 4 years, you're going to see this village explode. The trends are saying that when people, the young people want to be now near transit villages, which we are, but also the interesting thing is the baby boomers want to be here too. They no longer want to be isolated in some senior citizen suburb, but they want to be where vitality is. They want mobility. They want to be able to get on a train. We can get into the city in 30 minutes. It's a different way of aging, and what better blend with young people and people who can downsize and stay into their communities. So that's another reason why I want to be here to do that. I won't bore you with a lot of more things that I'm passionate and excited about that's going to happen in the next 4 years, but this one thing that I promise you, the things that we're doing as a transit village, we are going to become a model that other people who have the same dynamics that the village of South Orange, meaning a train station and all the other things that we have that they don't have, like a top-notch university. We're only 2 square miles. 15, 20 minutes to the airport, location. But our residents, we're about less than 17,000, but the mix of talented residents, professionals, artists, educators, I mean, it's just incredible. Some communities claim that they're diverse, and they are, but they have sections, Jewish section, African-American section, a Hispanic section. Not here in my beloved village. I think we're unique. We're not only diverse, but we're fully integrated. I think the only things that are differentiated in our village are by housing price and stock, but in each area, Tuxedo Park, Montrose, Upper Wyoming, Newstead, and all the other areas, every area is fully integrated, and we play well together in the sandbox. And the other thing that we do well, and I want to celebrate our police. Our police are so much part of our community that some of the challenges that we've been hearing over the last year or two, they're real, and they need to be addressed, and that's another conversation for another time. The reason that we don't have those type of challenges here in South Orange, not only are we fully integrated by ethnicity, price points, education, and gender preferences, but we're also fully integrated with our public safety people. They're a part of our community. I could go on and on and on, and I know you want to hear another hour from me, but and the final thing I really want to say is why I chose to run again, and we can be an example to Washington and other municipalities that don't play well in the same sandbox, is that each one of us has a unique experience or skill, and we know that, and we collaborate, and we really work well together. We get things done. With all of that said, in closing, you like that line, right? You know I'm almost done. I just want to say thank you to the support that I have. To my husband, my high school sweetheart, met him when I was 16. To my incredible, gorgeous, intelligent, and exceptional daughter. Yes, I'm proud. To my parents, how blessed am I to have, my mom won't allow me to tell you how old she is, but my father will, so I'll just tell my father's age. He just turned this month 84 years old. How cool is that? How blessed am I to have healthy parents who could be a part of my swearing in? And I'm the oldest of 4, and I love them all, like some more than the others. But my best friend, the sibling that's as close to my age, we're like Irish twins, with a little more sun exposure, is my sister Valerie, who was on stage. She's my best friend. So with all of that support and friends that are here, people who helped us along the way, I want to say shout out to, I told them they were part of my family, Sam and Dan, so they had to sit close. I want to say hello to Kim and Inez and the person who steals my chocolate, Mr. Cotton. They're my pinochle group, that is my therapy group, and all the elected officials. I want to thank you for being here. I won't try to name you now because I'll get myself in trouble. Someone who sat on the board who was really supportive and is just an incredible subject matter expert in the environment and everything like that. I want to say thank you to Janine Bauer. I want to say thank you to Jeff DeBowie. I just want to say thank you to so many people. And finally, I just want to say thank you for those residents who made the commitment to take advantage of their right, their civic duty, and voted for me and my team.
All right, Howard.
Good evening. I would like to thank all those who supported our reelection and the confidence that you have with us on our governance. This campaign was a team effort by my colleagues and our campaign team, which is sitting out front here. Many thanks to you, the residents, from the signing of our petitions, listening to us at coffees, to pulling the levers at the voting booth, and thus allowing us to serve you for another 4 years, and creating a historic moment in electing the first woman president in the history of South Orange. We have had a full agenda these last 8 years, creating the building blocks for a unique village, from the implementation of information technology, establishing financial stability, and making the investment in our long-ignored infrastructure. We are now at on the elbow of a curve about to break out with significant initiatives. We will continue to review our reoccurring expenses, eliminating waste, and as well seeking new revenue sources. We will focus on shared service and/or consolidation as a linchpin to the efficiencies required by our municipalities. The swearing in by a close friend and the deputy mayor of our sister community is symbolic of that relationship. We also need and will lobby our legislator for changes that directly impact us. One of which is the state school district funding formula and the methodology used by our district in its tax rate. I look forward to an exciting next 4 years, but I cannot finish without mentioning Karen, my wife, my partner, for the never-ending support. Again, thank you.
Normally, I'm the one who does short speeches, but I thought I would do one page for each year that I've been on the board. Just to see how many people. And I also know if I really want to get applause, what I have to do is say congratulations to the new woman. First woman. I'm going to end my speech with that, too, by the way. I really want to thank my running mates who encouraged me to run again, because I did have some doubts about whether I want to go through another campaign. But I do thank them because I really do enjoy this. And I do thank everyone for supporting us and voting for us. And I guess I have to thank those people who didn't step up and run against us, too. But seriously, we do hope that other people do get involved. And it would be great if we had more people involved and who wanted to sit up on this board at some point. There might even be an opening soon. So that I do look forward to continuing to serve. I don't want to go into a lot because Howie and Deborah covered it, and Sheena's probably going to cover everything under the sun in a couple of minutes and a little bit more. I also want to thank my family. My daughter's here, my wife's here, my father-in-law, who was 89, is here. I know Sheena's parents are here, too. And so anyway, I look forward to the next 4 years, and I expect it to be very, very productive. And I now turn the mic over to Trustee Schnall.
I'll be very brief, but I at least want to take just a minute or so to pay a tribute to it doesn't get old, our new and first women village president, Gina Collins.
Let's be clear, it doesn't get old for me either.
No. We'll just keep doing it. So it was not much more than 2.5 years ago that we actually met, and I was so lucky to actually be included with you on the campaign. And those of you who know Sheena wouldn't be surprised at all by her intellect, her interest in knowledge in government affairs. But I was amazed at her energy, her passion. So when we began with Trustee Clark and Sheena, we went out on the campaign trail, and Sheena led us through these things. It was just incredible how each time there was just more energy and more to accomplish. And that led us really through 2 years, what has been a tremendous experience, and I thank you for that. But where it takes us now, which is so exciting, and I'm so inspired by it, is that you have no limits. I see nothing that can stop you from anything that you set your mind at. And so I'm just really looking forward. I am really looking forward, and I imagine these folks are as well, to see what you, along with others, all of us in the community, are going to be accomplishing over the next 4 years. So, hey.
Speak up.
Okay, never mind. Yeah, very little I can add to all of that, other than say, first female village president. What do you know about that? Yeah, it's a good idea. a good idea. No, I don't remember when we first bumped into each other, 2006, 5, 17, whatever. But, you volunteer in this village, and you will undoubtedly bump into Sheena at some point. Yeah, it's been an interesting ride so far, and I've enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to the next 2 years and the next 4 years of this group. Destination South Orange.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be something special and continue to be even more special than it already is. So I'm glad to be along for the ride at the very least, and play nicely in the sandbox. We'll try not to kick the sand, just move it around to the right places, and so I'm looking forward to the future.
So here we go. I've got so much energy right now. It's been tough trying to contain it. Thank you all so much for joining us here tonight. Last Tuesday marked a historical night in South Orange as we elected our first female village president. And it's truly an honor beyond words. It's really overwhelming. I've been smiling so big for the past week that I've strained muscles in my face that I didn't know that I had, so it looks like this big all the time. As my first official act as your 49th village president, I have a proclamation for Alex Torpy, our outgoing village president, on behalf of myself and the Board of Trustees. So, Alex, are you off on your motorcycle? Here we go. Please come on up, sir. As Alex noted, it is kind of unique when you see a transition from one executive to the next, with a high five, with a hug. We've had some ups and downs, but I think especially as volunteers in this community, we can certainly appreciate the work that people put into a job, especially one as important as the office of the village president. So the proclamation honoring Alex Torpy for his leadership and service as South Orange Village President, May 16, 2011 through May 18, 2015. Whereas on May 10, 2011, Alex Torpy was elected as South Orange Village President, becoming the youngest village president to serve the township of South Orange Village, as well as the youngest mayor elected in the state of New Jersey at the time. And whereas in addition to serving as village president, Alex has dedicated himself and served South Orange in many other roles, including but not limited to membership on the South Orange Public Library Board, the Citizens Public Safety Committee, the South Orange Rescue Squad, and as emergency management coordinator for the village. And whereas, throughout his term as village president, Alex has been a leading voice in the advancement of municipal governance, championing government transparency, citizen inclusion and engagement, and the use of technology and social media to advance the mission of local government. And whereas Alex's leadership, working closely with the village's Board of Trustees, brought a new era of fiscal control, technological advancement, open government, social and economic development, and unparalleled progress to the village while improving government processes, operations, and delivering of services to the community. And whereas Alex's selfless dedication and passionate commitment to the village through all of his volunteer positions, and particularly his service as village president, epitomizes the values that make South Orange the special community that it is, and should serve as an example to people of all ages and walks of life that every person has a voice and that every person can make a positive impact on their community. And whereas the village president and board of trustees, on behalf of all village department heads and staff, village residents and businesses, wish to express their sincerest gratitude and appreciation to Alex Torpy for his dedication and public service to the township of South Orange Village. Now therefore be it proclaimed by the village president on behalf of the board of trustees and the entire township of South Orange Village that the sincerest appreciation is hereby expressed to Alex Torpy for his leadership, dedication, and extraordinary service to the township of South Orange Village, and that the best wishes are conveyed to him in all of his future endeavors.
Thank you.
Wait. Photo.
I know.
You're right. I was going to photobomb.
Go for it.
This side of the podium is interesting. I have a question actually before I start about a pothole on my street. I do just want to very quickly say thank you for this. In my last sort of official meeting, we had a little bit of a longer ceremony, and I want to make sure to repeat the thanks to all of my colleagues up here, not just the trustees, but the administration and the clerk's office and all the department heads and staff that are here, and all the volunteers. I look out in the audience. There are a lot of people in this room that are very involved in South Orange right now. And I think that that's a testament to the culture that we've all created here that kind of shows tonight, the incoming being sworn in by the outgoing, that this is a place where we want to collaborate and we want to work together to move South Orange forward. Sheena, it was a very real privilege for my last official act, other than the list of pardons I sent to the police chief. That my last official act was to get to swear you in. South Orange is lucky to have you, and not just as the first female village president, not just as all the elected officials know what talking points to hit on. But that is incredible, and your age as well. But that's so almost minor compared to how much you've done for South Orange as a resident, as a volunteer, and as a trustee. So with that, I'll say thank you again, and I think this goes to show. I don't think that everyone here thinks that democracy always works, but when it works, it really works. This is a product of that. This town is a product of that. What we do here is a product of that. And these folks up here, I'm confident, so confident and excited to see where South Orange goes, especially under the leadership of Village President Sheena Collin. Thank you.
So I had a few days to think about this extraordinary moment, and the speech writing. I realized I'm not very good at writing a speech, but I really enjoy talking a lot. So I'm just kind of going to wing it and let you know what I'm feeling right now. The thank you list is pretty large. I should probably start by thanking my bed and my pillow and whoever invented stretch pants, because I've been sleeping and eating a whole lot ever since last Tuesday, just catching up and just getting health back and being excited about this night and moving forward. But the real thank yous are first to the South Orange community. You heard a lot about thanking the supporters who came out to vote for us. And everything that you did means a whole lot, whether it was lawn signs or donating. Supporters are obviously in this place, in the heart. But I also want to thank and appreciate my opponent who took the time to run and care about issues. And I thought it was a very spirited race. So this one is for Miss Emily Hines. I think, like I said 2 years ago, even with 70% of the vote and having won all the districts, one of my close friends said, "Do you feel this is a mandate?" And sure, you want to feel like a mandate, but I think my focus is on the 30% of people who weren't on board with direction, and it's about bridging what we offer with people who may not necessarily agree with us, and making sure that we're a conduit for bringing the best of two different groups together and moving forward. And what's sad and unfortunate that we see in a lot of local government races is the percentage of turnout. So engaging those who didn't support us, but just as importantly, engaging the folks who didn't come out on Election Day for a local government municipal race, and showing them why they should care and why their vote matters, and more importantly, why their voice matters. on local issues. And I think that's the mandate, and that's the call to each member of this Board of Trustees over the next 4 years. The campaign team and volunteers, it was grueling, and so I'm getting to see some of them in the front row. Campaign manager, Sandy Wilson. Reverend Sandy, where are you at? Reverend?
She had to leave.
Okay. So Sandy, Michael Auer, Michael Miner, Larry Hirsch, Rachel, Deborah's beautiful daughter. It's hard to explain how tough a campaign can sometimes be, and having this type of campaign team is just really incredible. To over our 30 hosts who are sitting in the audience, you opening up your homes for us to meet and greet voters gave us the opportunity to meet close to 600 people in less than 30 days, so thank you very much. And to all of those who played a small role, it didn't have to be big, large or small, thank you from the bottom of our heart for doing what you did to ensure that we got elected and we're here tonight. To my closest friends sitting in the audience, I see this little circle over here. You guys are the ones that when I'm getting a little bit down and I need the little extra push and I need somebody to feed me and make sure I know what day of the week it is. Thank you for being that in my life for so long. And most importantly, my significant other, my better half. I think most of you folks can handle small doses of me. He has to handle the large doses of me, and for that, I think we owe him a great deal of gratitude. This is how you know somebody really loves you. He gives me 12-foot putts as a gimme on the golf course, and so I appreciate that. To my colleagues on the Board of Trustees, now here's an important one. I think a lot in politics you see these marriages of convenience. It's politically calculated. You try and match people with who you think the winners will be. And I now have had the privilege to run and serve with all members of this Board of Trustees, Walter, Deborah, Howard, Mark, and Steve. And I got to tell you, I am really honored and privileged to serve with these folks. This was not a calculated marriage. It was not convenience. It was caring about the people that I serve with. It's caring about their individual success and how their individual growth and success is a part of a larger vision and success for this village as a whole. So I've said during the kickoff and throughout the campaign that what we have here in South Orange is so unique, and to be able to argue with people, and I'm sure we will put each other in timeout boxes frequently, but that we all pull together and we recognize that the very foundation of who we are as a township of South Orange Village is that we want to do right by the people that we serve, that we always put the community first. And I think that more often than not, our goals are the same. It's just that we each have different ways to try and get to and achieve those goals. And by having people that I truly care about and that I truly know want the best for this community is a privilege. To our staff, this is one that often gets overlooked. I'm seeing some of our employees in the audience, and obviously the ones up here. Sometimes you see during these speeches, you get a new mayor, village president, and you're worried about changes and what's going to happen. I can tell you definitively that I believe I speak on behalf of the entire Board of Trustees, is that we are amazed by the work that we get from our employees under the leadership of our department heads, under the leadership of our administration. Budgets like the ones that we've been able to deliver several times now, they don't happen by accident. Of course, there's a lot of work that happens from the Board of Trustees, but we wouldn't be able to deliver those budgets without our administration. I'm seeing our police chief in the front row, and as Public Safety Committee Chair, you heard me talk about the drop in 1 year of 24% in Part 1 crimes, and this follows a trend of 40% decrease in crime over 4 years. Of course, there's board investment. We have to follow the guidance of our professionals, but at the end of the day, that's his leadership, that's his department. Those are our men and women who fight on the streets for us every day to keep us safe. That's a testament to them. And I see our Public Works Director also, Tommy. It's amazing because after a really bad storm, here you can see say you can see pavement, and other places in Essex County it could look like Winterfell from Game of Thrones. So I know he does an incredible job. And I mean, I could talk about all of these departments and our staff forever, but I want you to know, and I'm speaking specifically to the employees here, that you are our partners. We care about your professional development, your growth. We want you to go out there, sell this community, learn as much as you can, and bring it back to us and make us better as a town. And we know that good governing bodies follow the advice and the recommendations from the good staff that they bring in to serve not only them, but the community that we all care about. And lastly, all the volunteers. As Alex said, that we've got a lot of folks who are volunteers in this village. We are a village of volunteers, and so much of the work that we accomplish together. So to the real meat of what I wanted to acknowledge tonight, as you saw, I have some special guests with me. This is where I practice in the mirror, like, show your strong face, Sheena Kerr. And the thing is, it is overwhelming because having my family here, my brother, my mother, and my father is, it's really something else. And one thing I want to acknowledge, especially with Memorial Day coming up, is that I'm privileged and honored to have my brother, Christopher Collum, who is a veteran of the United States Army. So while sleeping and eating a lot of calories and Hot Pockets, it gave me time to think about how I ended up here today. And during the campaign, you've heard me speak about the volunteers who have inspired me, the people in the community. But I had to dive a little deeper with the arrival of my parents coming from Port St. Lucie and my brother driving up here, is that it predates arriving in South Orange. And I think it's the moments where you realize how important your family is to you. You've seen family swear in other trustees tonight, and I know a lot of you in the audience, you know the people that you care about, how you provide support for them. For those of you who are parents, you look at your children and you want everything in the world for them that you didn't have. So I know this moment is almost more significant for my parents than it is for me. And then starting with my brother, a couple little stories, because as I reflected, I found myself laughing at all the things that helped create who I am. So my brother taught me independence and self-sufficiency, and here's how. So one day he came home with a really big box. It was a cardboard box. And he was like, Sheena, here's your new little home. Like, you can have a tea party. And I'm like, thanks, Chris. And so he cut out a door, and he cut out windows. And he was like, go on in your new home, and I'll come visit you. I was like, oh, I'm going to have a tea party. So he left me in there for a really long time, probably a couple hours. It could have been days. Who knows? During that time, you learn independence. You really do. You've got to be able to make do with the little bit that you have inside of a cardboard box that your brother left you in. I'd like to believe now that that was a lesson he was teaching me. But now I look at him and I learn about service, and I think what I'm doing for the village is something significant, but I think when you put your life on the line for your country, for love of your country, that's real service. So I get to look at him every day and be proud to be the little sister of somebody who served in our Army. So thank you, Chris. Now on to my mom. Okay, so I tried to explain to my mother that she is kind of a celebrity in South Orange. For those of you who follow me on Facebook, you know her as Mama Collum. She is a traditional Korean mother, so that basically means that I was doing long division before I could walk. I got a call from my mom when the campaign started, and it basically was, you know, Sheena, I'm not going to do my mom's accent. I'm not going to do that to her. Do it. Sheena, I know you're going to win village president because you have a big, big heart and you work so, so hard. I'm like, Mom, I think you're a little bit biased. She's like, why is that? Because you're my mother. Other people agree too. Who? Your dad. That's a mother's love. And then I also learned resiliency from my mother. And this goes back to elementary school and the things that you learn in the cafeteria. When your friends and the neighborhood kids are all bringing their lunch in a brown paper bag, and they've got like the PB&J and the bologna and cheese and the snack pack and the Dunkaroos, and you're basically wheeling your lunch in a suitcase, and you pull out the Tupperware with fermented cabbage, and you open that thing up. That is kimchi. You quickly learn who your friends are. You learn how to deal with bullying. But most importantly, you learn that it's okay to be a little bit different, and that it's all right to be original. My mom, on a more serious side, she was the one who drove me to the nursing home every day after high school, because that's where I did my volunteer work. My mother was the one who showed me about love and caring. She had me volunteer at church. She had me volunteer with homeless. So a lot of the heart that I have comes directly from seeing my mother love so many people. And it was through the 4 years that I spent at a nursing home that I learned the value of time and how quickly time passes, and that we have to take advantage of living in the moment and doing and following our dreams. Lastly, my dad. Now this gets even good. So for those of you who witnessed my real greatness, which was at the Sloppy Joe eating competition, I mean, really, I was able to take down 7 other men. I doused the water on top of those Joes. I mean, I was smashing it in my face. There were some people who took pictures. Thank God they didn't come out during the campaign. I lost to a Maplewood Township committeeman. For those of you who remember the hanging Chad in Florida, this was like the hanging piece of coleslaw. It was by such a small amount that I'm going to be back in this year to win it, to bring home the win for South Orange. So after that, close friends, again, sitting over there, Sheena, why are you so competitive? And I had to think about that as I was sick. I wasn't sure, but lo and behold, there is an answer. If you go into the photo album of pictures of Sheena growing up, there is a picture of me during Christmas, and I'm standing with my father. And on the front, it says, "No fear." That was really popular back in elementary school, middle school for me. And then if you turn me around, it says, "Second place is the first loser." Thanks, Dad. I was sometimes frustrated by my father because it always felt like I was playing catch up, that I wasn't good enough, that if I didn't take first, it wasn't worth it. And, especially when you have a father who expects a lot from you, because he didn't come from a lot, and everything he has today, he worked for it. And it wasn't until I got a little bit older that it got to that point of like, why are you so tough on me? Like, is there anything that's going to be good enough for you? And he told me that what he did with me was like weightlifting, and that if somebody isn't adding more weights to the bar that you're pushing, you're never going to progress, you're never going to move forward. And he said that he pushed me hard because if you don't have people in your life that love you so much that they push and they push and they push, then who do you have? This was all to make me better, and it's the competitive edge and spirit that I have now is to push those around me and be pushed back, to rise to the level of what this community deserves. And so it might have been hard lessons, it might have been a lot of sloppy joes, but I thank my dad for showing me what hard work, dedication, healthy competition, and pushing forward in life is really about. So I love you, Dad. Thank you. I'm down to the last portion. I had to share those moments. So what will the next 4 years look like? In the upcoming months, the board will be doing a lot of strategic planning. Again, I would love to just say, here's the village president's agenda, but I value this board and our staff and our advisory committees and our partners enough to know that tonight is not the night where you envision what's going to happen over the next 4 years. We're going to move through that process together and think about some of the short-term things that we want to do, but also long-range planning. But there are certainly some things that I think we can commit to you. Back to what my father instilled in me and wanting to be the best is that I recognize that we live in an imperfect world, and the state is imperfect, and county government and local government, we're all imperfect, and individually, I make a lot of mistakes. I'm an imperfect person. I see it every day. But that doesn't mean that we don't strive as a community for perfection. I think that is a healthy goal, is to always push ahead, add the weights to the bar, right, Dad? And strive towards wanting to be the best and deliver the best for everybody in this community. Next, and I said this at our campaign kickoff, what will define the next 4 years is partnerships. I was so pleased when Mr. Lewis had read the folks who are joining us here today, because if there's anything that I know, especially working for the American Planning Association and looking at local planning, regional planning, state planning, is that we can't do things by ourselves. We can't continue this path of every municipality being siloed and thinking that they have to just do what's best for them, because our successes and our failures are so interconnected. Having Maplewood here, I know the members of the Board of Education wish they could be here tonight, but they have a meeting. Everything that we do is so connected. If we're doing good on the municipal side, but our schools struggle or they don't have enough budget to be able to keep their head count and their staffing, or if we're doing good or the county is struggling, everything is so interconnected. So the first thing that I'm going to be doing as village president is going to all the council meetings and introducing myself and letting them know that South Orange are not just your partners, but hopefully your friends, and that we're going to move forward together, not just as a local community, but hopefully as a county and a region, and advancing our collective goals. And then the most important promise that I know I'll be able to keep is that in my administration, I will value excitement, because I've got a lot of it, right? She's the first female village president, right? I like excitement. I like to laugh. My dentist told me the average person shows 8 teeth when they smile, and I show 26. I am happy. I'm excited. I enjoy passionate people and exciting things and new ideas. And if we tried something in the past and it failed, who cares? Let's do it again. That's what I want from this community. I will give you fire every single moment over the next 4 years, and it's what I know I bring to the village presidency, because there are nights where we have such good meetings and we pass some really good resolutions or ordinances, or we get great news about county grants, and I go home and I am just so excited. I feel those extreme emotions of delivering for this community, and on the far side, that when we don't get it right, or the public holds us accountable for bad decisions or says you're moving in the wrong direction, that's good. We expect that from you. We want that from you. I go to the far extreme of wanting to do better, because you're pushing, you're adding those weights. Bringing that to each of you is really important to me, and I know we'll do it together. The last commitment that I have is that I'll always be honest. Another lesson from my dad is he said you can basically have nothing in life. You can lose everything, and the one thing that you will always have is your word. And that's important to me, is to always be honest, give you both good news and bad, whatever it may be, is that I will always tell you the truth. So I'm excited for the next chapter in South Orange's history. I thank all of you for coming out. You make me so happy. My heart and soul are lit up. I made it through without any waterfalls. This means so much to me. And to each of you, thank you so, so much for the role that you're playing in this community and as partners to this community. right, so we just have very quick items on the agenda that will move very, very quickly. And then, as you know, you are all invited to join us at Above Restaurant and Bar. So literally before people leave, we will move very quickly. So why don't we just give it the 2 minutes to pass these items, and then we'll all leave together. First, we have a resolution for separate action. Ms. Caljean.
Okay, Board of Trustees, Standing Committees, 2015-100, resolution appointing trustee members to the 6 standing committees of the Board of Trustees pursuant to Chapter 5(9) of the Code of the Township of South Orange Village, Finance and Information Technology Committee, Legal and Personnel Committee, Planning and Zoning Committee, Public Safety Committee, Public Works and Infrastructure Committee, Recreation and Cultural Affairs Committee.
We have a move from Trustee Deborah Davis Ford, second from Howard Levison. Can we have a roll call?
Trustee Clark?
Yes.
Trustee Davis Ford?
Yes.
Trustee Levinson?
Yes.
Trustee Rosner?
Yes.
Trustee Schnall?
Yes.
Thank you.
Next, we have village president appointments.
2015-VP01, Village President appointments of the Class 1 member of the South Orange Planning Board.
And can you read the second?
Sure. And 2015-VP02, Village President appointments of the Class 2 member of the South Orange Planning Board.
These are village president appointments. They are both myself, serving as the Class 1 member, and Deputy Administrator, Mr. Lerner, to continue in his role on the Planning Board as a Class 2 member. Continuing on to consent agenda, and I think we agreed that we wouldn't have to read all of these by title. Right. Just for the benefit of the public, this is a continuation. All the trustees are continuing in their roles that they currently serve in. And we had discussed as a board that we're also, during our strategic planning meetings, going to review and consolidate, if need be, any outstanding advisory committees or talk about any shifts that might be necessary. But for the purposes of what we're doing right now, we're all continuing in our respective roles. Can I have a motion?
Move the consent agenda.
I second.
Can I have a roll call?
Trustee Davis Ford?
Yes.
Trustee Levison?
Yes.
Trustee Rosner?
Yes.
Trustee Schnall?
Yes.
Trustee Clark?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, resolutions 2015-101 through resolutions 2015-129 are on the consent agenda.
I'm sorry, can you repeat?
Resolutions 101 through resolutions 129 are on the consent agenda.
Are there, Mr. Lewis, are there a couple that you wanted to explain at the bottom that aren't the appointments?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
So, yeah, the
you
ones
guys
off the
saw.
consent agenda, or on the back, 128 and 129?
Is there anything on 129?
No, that was just something associated with the financing that we did through the New Jersey Environmental Infrastructure Trust Program for our part of our membership in the joint meeting, the sewer treatment plant, and this is a confirming resolution on the details of the bond sale.
So for consent agenda, I think the vote was through 129.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
And then we're just to approval of bills is next order
Howard.
of business.
Yeah, I move conditionally the bills list and that had been audited by the treasurer and distributed to the board previously for their review. I'm saying conditionally because I don't think we all received the
Yeah,
bills
so
list.
it was, we just got it out today, so we're going to ask for a conditional approval subject to the finance chair, and any comments or concerns you have, certainly address them to me or the finance committee chair, and then we'll
I'll
be good.
second that.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I think you need a roll call.
Do we need a roll call?
It's money.
Trustee Davis Ford?
Yes.
Trustee Levinson?
Yes.
Trustee Rosner?
Yes.
Trustee Schnall?
Yes.
Trustee Clark?
Yes.
Thank you.
I'll brush up on my Robert's Rules of Order. We have announcements. Village Hall offices will be closed on Monday, May 25th in observance of Memorial Day. And South Orange's traditional Memorial Day service will be held at 10:30 a.m. on Monday, May 25th at Memorial Rock near the Duck Pond. The public is invited to attend. Unless there is any new business.
I move to adjourn.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
On to above.
All right. Hope to see you folks tonight.